Okay, then. So moving on then to Cocaine Bear. Now, I just to introduce this, I've seen the trailers of this, and I am highly looking forward to seeing it. But my local cinema's not playing it. However, you have seen it, haven't you, mate?
Yep, saw it last night, and one, I'd like to have everybody, if you can get it down and see it today, please do, because there is an off chance that it might beat Ant-Man Quantumania in its second week, which is really funny to me.
That is one of those things which is just, please do that. Please do that. Please have a movie about a cocaine snorting bear beat Marvel and Disney, at their own game.
Very funny. Elizabeth Banks directed this, and I'm trying to.
So was it as good as Charlie's Angels?
No.
No, as in, yes, it was.
Charlie's Angels was a masterpiece, sir, of strong female characters, and
which us men weren't ready for.
Nice to us. Yes.
Brits love Coke. Not all of us. I prefer Pepsi. Sorry, go on.
I'm going to have to turn off your camera for a while for that. Obviously, yes, it's much better than that. And it is what it is. You know what? One, it takes place in 1985, and
because it's based loosely on a true story, isn't it?
No, they followed it completely. The guy jumps out of the plane, and he hits his head after he's thrown all this coke out of the plane. He hits his head, and so his chute doesn't go off, and he ends up in some poor asshole's driveway. And then the bear overdoses and dies.
Oh, so it's quite a short film.
No, I'm kidding. This is where the loosely starts.
Oh, I see. Oh, they
in real
put a
life,
slight Hollywood twist on it. Right.
This is where they put a Hollywood twist on it when the bear becomes a complete cocaine fiend. And somehow they made a halfway decent story out of it. I was kind of surprised because it's not like your typical bear goes crazy. Like, there's other stories going around, and the bear is, killing the bear is not the end all of the movie. In fact, I'm going to spoilers. Can I go into spoilers?
Yeah. I'm not too bothered. Yeah, I'm not too bothered.
Right. Do you remember? And maybe you don't remember, but I remember when after Star Wars came out, but before Empire Strikes Back came out, everybody had shirts that said Darth Vader lives. I'm gonna make a shirt that says Cocaine Bear lives.
All right. Okay.
It did start out that way though. This dude, he's in a plane, and he's throwing duffel bags out, and he's just having a grand old time with it. Now, according to the research I did about what really happened, I think the guy that was throwing cocaine bales out of the plane thought that they were tracking him, and he wanted to get rid of it. I did not get this sense in this movie that that's why he was doing it. I'm not really clear why he was doing it, because if it was drops, there's got to be better ways to do it than what he was doing, because there's duffel bags in trees, there's duffel bags on roofs.
I'll pick all that up later. That won't be an issue.
Yeah. You could just land and give it to the drug dealer, but sure, throwing it out of a plane, that's an idea too. And he's just having a grand old time. He's throwing them all out. He's partying out. He does not seem like he's under any sort of tension or something. And then when he getting ready to jump out of the plane, that's what happens. He clunks his head on the top of the hatch opening, knocks himself out, slides out of the plane, ends up in some poor bastard's driveway dead. The bear gets into the cocaine, and he attacks two hikers. I should say the she bear. It's a female.
Not to be sexist, we're all equal.
Yep. Female bears can tear shit up just as easy as male bears. They're high on coke. So he attacks a a pair of hikers and he kills the woman, which I thought, sure. That was the other thing. It's like I expected some people to die that didn't die, and others
Okay.
that did die I was not expecting, or they
Okay.
drag things out. But the it's all played for laughs. Now, the one thing I liked about it is it's set in 1985, and it does not feel like an 80s. It doesn't feel like a remember the 80s movie.
Yeah.
It feels like an 80s movie. That
That
makes
is
any
one of
sense.
those things that no. I desperately hate it when it's kind of, even things like Stranger Things have done the same thing, that it's kind of like the 80s. Do you remember the 80s? Look, we've got an arcade machine over there. Do you remember this? Listen to that song. There's an 80s song. Do you remember that 80s song? And it's kind of, a lot of films kind of do that. That it's just, oh, remember? Do you remember? Can you listen to the music? It's the 80s. Remember?
Yeah.
And yeah. Whereas as opposed to what you're saying it's a film like it was made in the 80s.
It does. And it does. It feels more like a period piece. Now, I'd say there isn't a song or two, but it just isn't throwing 80s in your face all the time.
Right.
And older this woman that is the park ranger up there, she is getting ready for a nature inspector to come out. She has a little crush on him, and she's got
Right.
like she's got stuffed animals all over the ranger cabinet. I mean, not a ton of them, but a few,
No.
like you would expect and that sort of thing. So the guy comes in and she's put on all this perfume and everything. He's like, "Oh, what's that smell?" It's like, "Oh, I just she's trying to be coy about it." He's like, "Well, we better get going. I want to check out your ranger's cabin." "Oh, your beaver is dusty." She's like, "Well, I'm working on that."
Hey-oh.
which was which was great. And there's a lot of little, just it's just not taking itself seriously at all, which is perfect.
Yeah.
And
I mean, ultimately, it's one of those movies. I mean, sometimes I come across titles of films and I just look at the title and I can't remember what some of them are, but some of them are just so unbelievable. Piranaconda was one the other day where it was
yeah,
a mix, and I look at it and I think, I kind of fancy that. And like you say, if they're not taking themselves seriously, you can have great fun with them. And obviously, Cocaine Bear is one of those films where it's like, we're not taking ourselves too seriously with this,
yeah, but it's not like Sharknado stupid. I mean,
No,
it's reasonably good. It's not.
sort of based in some form of reality.
Yeah, to a certain extent. And you have a lot of different characters in here. So you got the mom with their daughter, and the daughter wants to go paint the falls. And I mean, like, she's a painter. And she wants to go to the park to paint the waterfall because it would be a pretty painting. And so she takes her friend and she skips school. And they go out to the woods because they're going to go do this because she's mad at her mom for dating somebody. And so the mom gets a call from school, so now she's got to chase her daughter into the park. Meantime, uh, the bear has attacked these two people, and then it does attack the kids, and the one kid ends up in a tree, and the other one gets the girl gets dragged into the cave. Fortunately, she does not get eaten. Why? I don't know. Because so the movie can happen, I guess.
Yeah.
Then
Duh.
you
Yeah.
have then you have the drug dealer played by Ray Liotta. And I don't know if it's awesome or sad that the last movie that Ray Liotta made was Cocaine Bear. I mean, it does say at the end of the credits, "In Memoriam," you know. So,
This film
loving
is
memory
dedicated.
to Ray Liotta, Cocaine Bear. Okay.
Yeah.
I,
Like you say, it's kind of
okay.
one of, yeah, yeah. But at the same time, I do think to myself, I watched Muppets Most Wanted the other day, and Ray Liotta was in that, and again, he was being really funny in it, and
Yeah.
he's obviously known for quite serious characters, but then he also obviously had a very good sense of humour about things. So, like, fair play, Obviously, if you're going to do a movie like this,
So Ray Liotta was supposed to take possession of all the cocaine, but obviously what's went wrong. If he doesn't get the cocaine, he's really effed by other drug dealers, I guess. And he's trying to get his son to the business. His son didn't want to be in the business, but he just lost his wife, Joan, to cancer. And so he sends his right hand guy to go pick up the son because the son has dropped off his grandson, his son, and he wants him to pick him up because he's got to go get the cocaine. This is getting convoluted already, I know. And the son is all weepy because of he lost his wife. He wanted to get a tattoo of her, but the guy screwed up, and so it said Joan. It's a big heart that says John. He's all upset about that. And so the two of them, it's his friend and his father's right hand man and his friend, this black guy. They go to try to find the cocaine, and they end up in the forest as well. Now the mother comes into the ranger station where the ranger is working with the guy she has a crush on, and she says, "My daughter's lost. Can you help?" And she's like, "Oh God damn it!" So she gets her gun. They go out, and they get attacked by the bear. And the ranger's kind of messed up, but she's able to get back to the cabin. I figure she would have been dead. And the nature guy that she has a crush on, he ends up in a tree next to it, and the other kid is in another tree, and the mother's just hiding. And while the guy was trying to get away from the bear, he ended up in a pile of cocaine, and then he ends up in the tree, so he's covered in the cocaine. So the bear goes to go get the kid, and he gets all the way almost up to get the kid, and he sniffs, and he looks over, and then he sees the guy over there in the other tree covered in cocaine. He's like, oh. He jumps from one tree to the other, tears that guy to ribbons. Then I forgot about the cop. This really gets convoluted, I'm telling you. So then there's a cop that,
for a story with such a simple premise.
That's what I'm saying. It's not that hard to follow. It's just hard for me to tell because I only saw it the once, and then I had a lot of liquor last night, so you're gonna have to bear with me. But I didn't even realize I did that.
I'm so in the zone with my comedy. Didn't even realize I did it.
No, I didn't even realize. You're gonna have to cocaine bear with me. So. I did, by the way, I did see the advertisement for meth alligator. I was like, come on, those teeth wouldn't look that good. But so the cop, he's investigating, and he ends up in the forest as well. There's these three teenagers that attack the black guy, and he kicks their ass, and he finds one of the bricks of cocaine on him. He says, "Where'd you get this?" So he gets one of them to take him to the gazebo. The cop ended up in the gazebo just by happenstance, and he sees one of the bags up there. They all end up together. The son, the right-hand man, this teenager, and the cop is on top of the gazebo. They got guns on each other, and then the bear comes out because there's cocaine over there. But now this time the bear is coming down, so he's not really attacking him. He's not all ferocious, and the two guys are playing dead. And finally, the bear just passes out on top of the one guy. He just smothered him. Like, I can't get him off. Can you lift him up? No.
A bear. Yeah.
Fucking 500-pound bear laying on top of him.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of that kind of stuff. Eventually, Ray Liotta comes out. He shoots the cop. There's more of a chase. Meanwhile, the mother is able to follow because the girl was able to spray paint and as to why she was getting dragged by the bear and leave a trail. And so the mother and the little kid, they go get the girl. Those guys end up somehow back at the same place because they find a bunch of the cocaine there. And then the bear saves the day, quite frankly. You know what? I can't even tell this story. It's too much. Which is really kind of surprising.
But it's one of those films that, like I say, that the premise of it, you kind of, again, coming back to like Ant-Man, you think to yourself, Ant-Man, it's the continuation of the Marvel story and blah, 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 and everything else. Whereas, like I say, somebody somewhere was sort of going, what about a picture of a bear that takes cocaine? Oh, I love it. Just somebody sort of somewhere. So, and then after 6 months when they're on the set filming it, going, got a bit out of hand, innit? Yeah.
It holds together. Here's the thing. I don't want to make this sound like it's like complete mess or whatever. It's not. It's just a lot to tell. But that's the thing. If you ask me what was Ant-Man about, well, Ant-Man and the Wasp and Hank Pym and Janet Van Dyne, they end up in the quantum universe.
What was the motivation for the bear? I mean, what was he? Was he? I was going to say, no. I mean, was he really expressing the inner feelings of what wildlife is towards humankind, or?
No, he was just strung out on coke, man.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, like I said, with Quantumanium, it's like, well, the four main people, they get sucked into the quantum realm. Kang's down there. They lead a revolt. They defeat him, and then they go back up to the real world, or to the Earth.
Yeah.
The end. I mean, in the end, that's really all it is. There's not a lot else happening. You can go into some detail on the journey, but it's not very convoluted. There's not that much going on. There's all these side stories and all these little arcs and all these people that have, real characters, and you kind of get to know them. You know the teenager, why the son is messed up. You got invested in him. The bear is kind of like this thing that's happening alongside of all this. And while he is obviously a big catalyst for creating a lot of mayhem, it's, I guess this is really a stretch. Kind of liken it to Jaws, right? Why was Jaws so awesome? It wasn't because of the shark. It was because of the relationship between Brody and
Quint
Cooper and Quint.
Yeah.
And some of this and the first half of the movie, Brody trying to deal with, the town and all that kind of stuff. The shark is just a problem that needs to be solved, And they lost all that because they made the shark the focal. By Jaws 4, the shark was going after the Brodies. And then following them, even though they took a plane, following them all the way down to the fucking Bahamas. I mean, it just got so insane.
It's a good job. It's a good job. The shark broke into their house and saw their travel plans, so he could follow them. But no, in this one, sorry, go on.
Who is it? Telegram. You're that shark, aren't you? No, I'm only a dolphin.
No. I'm trying to hide his teeth.
Yeah. Oh, only a dolphin. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's how Jaws got. It got that ridiculous. This is kind of like that, where the shark or the bear is a thing that is happening, but there are other problems or other stories that get you invested in the movie.
And the actual characters.
It's kind of like it's kind of like a 72% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's funny. The kills are funny. That when the ranger finally does buy it, it is absolutely hilarious. The bear is. There's only maybe one or two times that the bear's CGI really kind of gets a little dodgy,
noticeable. Yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, it's fine.
Can I just say ever so quickly, when you just said about Cocaine Bear on Rotten Tomatoes at the moment is at 71%, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania 48%.
What's the audience rating?
On which one? Cocaine Bear?
Yeah.
71 and 75.
75%. I'd say that's probably spot on. I mean, this isn't Gone with the Wind. It's Cocaine Bear. Okay.
Yeah, no.
You're gonna get what you paid for. I promise.
Yeah, that's right. Again, it's kind of like with the whole shark. I was going to say, like with the whole Sharknado thing. Yeah, there's only one thing. There's two things you're going to see in that movie: sharks and a tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's nice that there's more to this movie. It's nice that it's goofy. You're not supposed to take it seriously. That's all fine. But I cared about the mom and the kids. I cared about what happened to these goofy side characters. I laughed when they died. I laughed at, it's all just, it's fun. I almost liken it to Dale was it Tucker and Dale
No versus evil.
versus Evil?
Yeah.
Kind of like kind of a little like that. Like you cared about those characters and what was going on in that crazy mess, and it kind of like the same way. And it's not just like, well, this is you don't have like those early '80s. It's like, I'm telling you, this is a bear like you've never seen. It's
Yeah, that's right.
it's a fucking bear. It's just a black bear, no big deal. It's just a high on coke, and it's a little bit more aggressive. And bears can kill you.
Yeah. Then they're known for their temper.
Yes, this one can kill you humorously. And that's the fun part. So I do recommend it. I absolutely recommend it as it's only like an hour 36. It's not long.
Good.
You're in and out, and you had a good time. You don't feel like you wasted your money. It moves along at a brisk enough pace, and you come out of it going, that was fun.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like I say with a lot of films. Sometimes I remember walking out of Batman and just sort of thinking, ironically enough, I kept thinking that was a waste of money. I mean, I think it's because I bought a hot dog and drink as well, so I had to remortgage my house. But I did think to myself, that was a waste of money ultimately to do that. Whereas, like I say, I've seen films which have got zero budget and zero anything else, but I've thoroughly enjoyed every moment of them because they've just been fun, and ultimately that's what you want. You want to be entertained for whatever it is.
Yeah. There's no woke nonsense because it all takes place in 1985, so you don't have any of that idiocy in there.
Well, you just said it was a black bear and a female.
She was sassy. That'll get me in trouble.
So, what would you give it stars wise?
Yeah, I give it like a 3 out of 4. I mean, I'm right there with them. 75.
3 out of 4.
75%, 80%.
No, we score our movies out of 5. We have done forever, and you say 3 out of 4.
3 point. Oh. Well, I don't know what 75% is out of 5. Okay, it's not 4 out of 5.
What would you give it as stars?
3.7.
I'd give it a C plus. Yeah, definitely.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Black bear. That's the problem with this film. Oh, hang on. No. Black bear is what I meant to put up. Black bear. Yeah, it's a racist bear. That's what it is.
That's right.
I score on 4.
Yeah, at the end.
Good English there, Heidi.
The bear high on cocaine went in and it just raided a target while the security guys just looked on, didn't do anything about it. It started taking off the makeup because it's a black bear, so it's female.
So many jokes. Nope. Oh, we're really missing Sean. He's really missing out on this.
Thank you for watching this excerpt from Outpost Frequencies. Tune in live every Sunday at noon Central Time or 6 o'clock UK time. And also, remember to come to lastmovieoutpost.com for all your latest in movie news, streaming news, and everything cool about film. We are the cool news now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream.